Hello and welcome to The Film Whisperers, where two film nerds talk all things movies with a contemporary lens. My name is Saj.
I'm Alice.
So Alice, this is something that we love doing, I'd say, what we're about to explore today.
Yeah.
And that is looking at old films, but with a 2025 lens on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting to see how many films have aged pretty terribly.
I think it's most of them, right?
So, can I ask you, what makes a film age poorly?
It depends what you're looking for. Personally, I think it's when they don't tackle, like when I see social issues, which they're like, it's so of that time, like it's poor, like it's sexism or it's racism against gay people, trans people, this kind of thing. Like that's usually what I don't like. Any kind of just when people are treated poorly because they're a little bit different and it's acceptable to do that.
I'd agree, and I think it's also a good reminder to see how much progress that we have made as well in the world in terms of tackling some of these social issues. When you watch an old film and some of the things that they say and do were considered acceptable back in the day, and it's not anymore.
Yeah, I think when you're watching these films, even though we're going to bring up things which are a bit uncomfortable to see now, it is a positive because it does remind you, okay, look how far we've come. Yeah. That wouldn't slide today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So today we have a list of 10 films, but we're going to focus specifically on the 90s. Yeah. Where were you in the 90s? Were you a 90s kid?
I was a 90s kid. I started in the 90s. I was born right at the end of 89, so I'm a true 90s kid. What about you?
Yes, I was mid 80s. I was born in the mid 80s, so definitely a 90s kid through and through. I became a teenager in the 90s as well. So a lot of these films that we're going to talk about today, they made its way into my home viewing at some point, and they were quite popular.
Okay, and how were you consuming these films? How were they making their way into your...
Most of it would have been through VHS or DVD.
Yeah, same. VHS, DVD on the Saturday or Sunday night TV or Friday night movies. Watch it with the family, watch it with people. It wasn't like consumed by myself. Yeah. I don't think at all in the 90s. It was more like 2000s that I started doing that. Yeah. But or at the cinema.
Or at the cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can frankly say I don't think I've seen any of these films that we're going to talk about in the cinema. And I think it's because I didn't grow up in Australia, so the time it took for mainstream film to make its way to Sri Lanka, it was a long time. Yeah. So none of these films were films that I saw at the cinema. And looking at this list now, no. I don't think even to this day I've seen any of them in the cinema. So at number 10, so this is number 10 in terms of the films that do not stand the test of time from the 90s. I've got The Nutty Professor.
Okay, The Nutty Professor, 1996.
With Eddie Murphy.
With Eddie Murphy. Why is this on the list?
I think now to make jokes like The Nutty Professor, so pretty much the whole movie is meant to be one big fat joke.
Yes, Eddie Murphy is he was very lean person at the time, very muscular, and he's put on this fat suit and to make fun of fat people. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And that's not funny anymore.
No.
It's really not. And to be honest, do you like Eddie Murphy?
I like Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
I mean, I love Donkey. That's Eddie Murphy from Shrek.
Oh, come on. That doesn't count.
And I think he was attractive back in the day as well. Like, I mean, sure, he's fine now.
Yeah, okay.
I loved him in what's the movie with Beyonce?
Dreamgirls.
Yeah,
he was good in that.
I loved him in Dreamgirls.
He was fantastic in that.
I love stand-up comedy. Yeah. And I think, he was definitely one of those original. Obviously, watching some of that stuff now, it's not funny, but I love him. You don't like him?
Controversially, I've told you this. I don't find men funny. They're just not funny. So I don't know. Whenever I see him trying to be funny, I find it cringeworthy. I thought he was great in Dreamgirls because it was more of a dramatic role, and the character that he was playing was a reflection of black artists at the time. So I thought he did a good job with that film. But no, I don't. I mean, I'm quite meh about him. Now, but with The Nutty Professor, this film was quite popular back in the day, and I remember again, as a kid, consuming this and finding it hilarious.
Same.
But yeah, no.
All his stuff I would laugh out loud at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's also, while we're not going to talk about this, I feel like there was this weird trend of people getting into fat suits or people impersonating other people, like Martin Lawrence in Big Mama's House, for example, or even the Wayans brothers doing White Chick. It was this weird thing, wasn't it, back in the day?
Yeah, even Charlie Howell kind of with Gwen.
Oh yeah, and
yeah.
that was, yes, exactly. I mean, that's for another episode when we tackle the 2000s. But yeah, it was interesting.
Let's not put a fat person. Let's just get someone that's like attractive and they can cosplay as fat.
Yeah.
And then make fun of all the things that they think are hilarious about fat people.
Yeah.
It's very fat phobic time.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Even though it was a lot of fat people. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Okay.
It was rough. And I think also there's some... Now, I can't talk on this, but I've heard that there's also there's some racist stereotypes which he really upplays in that too.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's interesting you bring it up. Yes, there are, but he's a black person playing these black characters. So I don't know. I feel like it's fine.
Yeah.
If he's doing it.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a white person doing blackface, playing black people. So I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what the rules are with that.
If Eddie Murphy was a large person, would it matter as much rewatching it that he's doing all these fat jokes?
Depends on how they do it. So Melissa McCarthy, let's take her for a second. So she tends to use her shape in making some of the scenes that she's in funny, right? And I think that's okay because, again, I feel like she's got a decision to make on how she wants to play out a scene, and if she wants to use her body as a way of making it a joke, then I think she has a right to. If that same format or formula was used by Eddie Murphy, I think it should be fine. It's just, it would be how they execute it. But then also the whole thing with the Nutty Professor, and keep in mind, this is a remake. The first one, it was about a nerdy guy that became this charming person. How would they have then tackled it? So anyway, so I guess, I don't know how it would have worked if that's the case.
And the whole point of that Nutty Professor is that when he's like attracted, that guy kind of is like the evil one, right? He becomes evil when he becomes
skinny.
Fit. Skinny. Yeah. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Skinny. And muscular as well.
Yeah. That's number 10 for us. What's number 9?
Number 9. What have we got here? Number 9's Notting Hill. That's one of my favorites. 1999, I believe. Yeah. Okay. What's good about it? I'll say what's good about it because I love it. Hugh Grant. Charming Hugh Grant. Perfect hair. Perfect face. Perfect town, Notting Hill. It's like a very picturesque version of Notting Hill. Bookshop, can afford to live right by. Everything's nice about it. It's just a nice, cute little rom-com.
So realistic. I mean, you know, like I really want to work in a bookshop and have a famous person just walk in and
sweep me off my feet. Yeah. But it was cool that it was a woman that was sweeping the man off the feet, you know, and that he was maybe more of the girl role, like more, he was the one that was getting pursued at the start, and then it goes back and forth, whatever. Okay, what is bad about it?
We don't need a story like that. Like stories like that don't get told anymore. It sells a fantasy that is irrelevant. Like now, I think romantic films now, they tend to have more realistic storytelling.
Do we need that though? Do you think maybe we're going to change that? Like just where the kind of world is now, maybe we need more of that fantasy.
About love?
Yeah, absolutely. With all these dating apps, people getting tired of swiping left and right and all the fakeness of it.
Yeah, okay.
It'd be nice to have a little bit more fantasy.
All right. I mean, you know,
I'm a romantic.
Yes, that's true. I think with Notting Hill, while it's an okay film to watch, it doesn't stand test of time. Also, I think Julia Roberts was good in it.
Yeah, I think the jokes, obviously some of the jokes don't land as they could have. Well, he's very much out of his league. I guess that doesn't really. You can still do that. Play that now.
Just the jokes. I think the script in that won't work now.
Yeah, people being unfortunate looking and mean-spirited jokes.
Yes.
But it's very like English mean-spirited jokes kind of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, really like jabbing each other, but it's like you only do that with people you like, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm the harshest joker with people I like.
100%. Yeah, totally.
If I don't like you, I'm gonna be so nice. Okay, what's number 8?
She's All That.
She's All That, which is again 1999. Okay, it's a teenage rom-com.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what it is.
It's like a My Fair Lady story set in high school, right? So a jock gets given a bet to turn who he deems the ugliest girl on the
most undateable girl in high school
into a beautiful woman.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a swan, ugly duckling to a swan.
Yeah.
And why is she an ugly duckling, Saj?
Because she's nerdy and
she's wearing glasses. And she's got a ponytail.
Yeah.
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 That's pretty much it. Oh my God. And how do they change it? They brush her hair out, give her a blowout, and take her glasses off.
And then she's sexy all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, she's this beautiful creature. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was stunning from the start. She's stunning in the end. But there's a lot of like bad jokes. Obviously, just doing these bets, I don't feel like these kind of bets happen anymore.
No.
I mean, even 10 Things I Hate About You, it's doing that, but it's Taming of the Shrew, of course. But I don't think these kind of bets work like just that basis. They'd need to add something else to it for it to work today.
It's just mean.
Yeah, it's just mean. It's like this person, let's point this one person out.
Yeah.
They're gross and unlovable.
Yeah.
Unlovable.
Yeah.
So let's see what we can do to make them let's give them contacts, brush their hair.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're always people who are already so attractive. They've just got maybe a little bit of a bad attitude or they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to say, I recently watched this film. I rewatched it. And while the messaging and stuff is just horrible, I watched it with a bunch of friends who I went to school with, and we all just swooned when we saw Freddie Prinze Jr. Because he was just absolutely beautiful at it. Anyway. Okay, what's number 7?
Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, 1997. What is this film? It's just making fun of 60s, like Bond-esque, right? But it's like cheesy, groovy baby. How do you feel about this film now?
Oh, the 90s was so cringe.
I love this film.
It's fine, but hang on, like, isn't he creepy though? Like, you know, like the way he says, you know, groovy baby or whatever. Like, I don't know, there's something it had a very creepy undertone to it.
You are right. You're correct. But I guess part of it is that he was supposed to be a little bit creepy, but it worked his magic. But I thought that was kind of the joke, that he's so gross that wouldn't never happen in real life.
Okay.
And maybe they're making fun of Bond and other kind of characters that, you know, aren't like the nicest.
Yeah.
And are a little bit gross, but the women just seem to swoon over them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it's silly and ridiculous. Like, everything's silly, everything's ridiculous, that it kind of still works. Personally, why wouldn't it work? Just because it's cringe?
Yeah, because it's cringe. And it's just, as the franchise goes on, he becomes more and more just creepy.
The sexual harassment.
Okay,
I agree. The sexual harassment, he does, it's like puts too much on. It's too much overt sexuality, which is like, in the real world, it would not fly. And I think that's what you're talking about. Like, even when I watched that a little bit, I'm like, ugh, gross. But I think because it's so nostalgic, it hits the right nostalgia for me where I can overlook it.
Yeah.
And I think that's like some of these films. It's like you just completely overlook, just ignore it. You just compartmentalize that it's really gross.
Yeah. But then that's nostalgia, right? That's the downside of having a nostalgic attachment to a film. You'll forgive it because it meant something to you.
Yeah. Even like nostalgia just for like the 90s, for our childhood.
Yeah, that's right.
We have that nostalgic thought, but we're missing all these like terrible things which were happening in those times.
Yeah.
So it still holds up because it's just a parody of 60s spy films, but the overt sexual, like predatory nature of his character. It just wouldn't fly today. They'd have to reel it in.
Yeah, they won't. In fact, I don't think parody movies like this exist anymore.
No, but I want them to come back.
Why?
Because they're funny. Like they're gonna come back with the Scary Movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I want because I like.
Yeah.
We need to make fun of ourselves a bit more, not take ourselves so seriously.
Okay. Agreed. Fine.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. Okay. Number 6.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Okay.
Now, I just remember the transphobia in this film.
Yeah.
And it was disgusting. It is disgusting, and it makes me quite. I won't watch this film ever again. And I don't find Jim Carrey funny.
I used to think he was hilarious, and then watching them back now, when he does those big energy scenes, most of the time it's like it's too much.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just too much for today's audience, but obviously when the joke is so bad to us now, like we really can see how disgusting it is. Like that transphobic scene, you like the bigger it is, the worse it is almost, because it's not like just a little joke. It's like just playing it over the top, and you're just like, it's just more in your face of like, ew, this is just not funny, and it's really sad. Yeah,
I also think that it's also a reminder, and it's funny with what's happening in the world at the moment. But to see how the LGBT community has progressed, where at one time it was this one big joke, and now there is that need for us to be taking these things a bit more seriously and having representation that matters. There's no way a film like this would ever be done.
No.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it. And I'm glad Jim Carrey doesn't act anymore. He was never really funny.
Even the mental health, making fun of like when he's in the padded jail cell and playing crazy. Yeah. Just mentally unwell.
Yeah.
We've just come so far. It's lazy and just so ridiculous. It just seems so childish.
Yeah.
And I think now, like, for a comedy to work, like this kind of thing, obviously transphobia, like that scene, disgusting. Yeah. But other scenes, I think they, it just needs to be more of a finesse for it to work, because the audience are just smarter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. What's number 5?
There is Something About Mary, which is 1998.
What's wrong with this film?
The dog kicking scene. I think just a bunch of the comedy is a bit... But when they kick the dog and electrocute the dog,
it's not funny. It's not funny. It's just the way.
You sure? Because you're laughing.
It's a bit funny. Okay, I thought more from the fact that this is a guy who gets paid to stalk another girl. Like that is messed up. Like that is not okay. And the thing with the dog, it happens because he gives the dog those pills to make him sleep, so that the dog doesn't bark, because the dog's meant to bark when the dog doesn't like someone. Yeah, they're stalking, but I guess people like pay private eyes and stuff. Yeah. I don't know, it's stalking, same kind of thing. But yeah, stalking just in general, a guy stalking a woman. So it's stuffed up. Yeah. Like, and then it's real. Yeah, it is real. Yeah. Fear, like, and it's a real threat to a lot of women. So yeah, exactly. And then at the end, this girl, Mary, she finds out that all these men are obsessed with her, and it's a very that scene, I think, is very uncomfortable, because she's there going, why? And it's funny because it's Cameron Diaz, she's beautiful, and there she is going, these men are obsessed with me, and I'm uncomfortable by it. But I don't know, that bit is what I found problematic. It's the distrust. It's just like, if you're interested, just say you're interested, and let them decide. They're not like a prize kind of. The jokes about her brother's disability are not okay at all. So they probably cannot get away with writing like that at the moment. No. Good thing about the film is just Cameron Diaz, I think. Yeah, and I didn't mind a bit of Ben Stiller. Like, it was, I think the two of them, they had a bit of chemistry, which is Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was good. Yeah. I think the hair thing's still funny. Okay. Okay, what is number 4? Cruel Intentions. What is Cruel Intentions? For All Intentions is a story about a guy named Sebastian, whose sister, Catherine, played amazingly by Sarah Michelle Gellar. Probably the best role she's ever done. She gives him a bet to take the virginity of this girl in their school. And the whole thing is how he's trying to pursue this girl and trick her into falling in love with him just so he could have sex with her and then win this bet that he has with his sister.
It's just all very twisted and gross.
It's so
based
bad.
off like dangerous liaisons. Again, we've got this kind of film where it's like this bet. A woman is a bet. They're playing for jokes. She's a bit silly there. And then he's got this weird incestual, like incest yuck. It's all just a bit gross.
It's gross.
A bit gross. And there's clear racism in it too, where it's not it's not excused in any way. No. And this is what film? 1999.
Yeah.
This 99. Come on.
Yeah.
Like they were up to it by this stage, and so I just rewatching it. Those bits are gross, and then also the famous kiss scene between
Selma
Blair and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
It's so male gazy how it's filmed. Like there's no point to it, or like, I mean, okay, she learns how to like kiss with her tongue or something, but it just felt so ick. Rewatching it, and I'm just like...
and also don't forget the scene where Sebastian, the Ryan Phillippe character, gets the Selma Blair character drunk and then
takes photos of her.
Yeah, and
and it's just played for a joke, and it's just like, well, you shouldn't have got drunk.
Yeah.
It's their fault for being stupid, basically.
Yeah. So that film's very problematic. Okay, what's number 3?
Number 3 is The Wedding Singer, 1998. Okay, do you like Adam Sandler?
No. Do you?
But Drew Barrymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, love Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, no, he's worse than Jim Carrey. In the 90s, I thought he was hilarious. Yeah. Everyone did. Yeah. Everyone watched those films. I thought it was so funny. But again, he plays those big overacting again. Yeah. I will say this is one of his better aged films. Yeah. Yeah, compared to other ones where, you know, like Waterboy and things like that, where it's just, there's not that many good things about it.
No.
His relationship or his chemistry with Drew Barrymore is really good. Yeah, it's
really good, yeah. Drew
Barrymore is amazing.
Yeah.
But what don't we like about it?
Again, the treatment of the trans character in it. Yeah. George, it was absolutely horrible. Yeah. They were a joke.
Yeah.
And the whole time. The scene that just made me it made me really uncomfortable, and I just couldn't watch the film in a way that made me want to enjoy it, was in that first scene where we get to meet George. He takes the stage, and how everyone just has this look of, ugh. And the thought of a trans person watching that and feeling like this is how society will view them, it's heartbreaking. Yeah. And it's no excuse. Yeah. So
it sucks.
It sucks.
Because I remember watching it and I just thought they were awesome.
Yeah.
Like their outfit, the way they were singing, it was so good. And then I didn't get why everyone was like, ugh. Like, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And that kind of shows that point where you like learn something. Just go, oh, I'm supposed to not think that they're amazing because they look amazing to me.
And they were funny as well. Like as in they were the actor themselves. They were funny. They were a funny actor.
Yeah.
And you know it's quite sad because the actor in real life died, and you know I'm guessing they probably had a really rough life being trans. So no, that film is very problematic.
And we will also say another problematic scene is when they get the kids to like, Drew Barrymore's character gets a little boy to like dance with them. Yeah. And the boy, the 13-year-old at a bat mitzvah, who's a big kid again. So of course it's the fat kid that doesn't have friends in this film. He touches her butt.
Yeah. And
then it's all played for laughs that he's doing that this 13-year-old is sexually harassing this 20-something-year-old. Yeah. And then everyone starts doing it. Yeah. And Adam Sandler gets the little girl that he's dancing with to touch his butt to make everyone feel okay. It's just a whole lot of no. No, let's keep each other's hands off each other's butts. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, last one.
No, number 2.
Number 2. What's number 2?
American Beauty.
Ugh. I used to love this film.
Okay.
And so now it gives me major ick.
Yeah.
Obviously, main actor is
Spacey.
Spacey.
Yeah, that's not, we
he's
don't.
gross.
Yeah,
We don't even talk. Say his name.
Yeah.
He's Voldemort for all we know. But it's just the whole film is about romanticizing this 40-year-old's obsession with a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Sexual obsession with this 16-year-old wanting to sleep with her.
Yeah.
I think she's a virgin or something.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't know at that time.
Yeah.
But he's just obsessed with it. And it's this whole romantic, him divorcing his nagging wife, his nagging terrible wife.
Yeah.
Like, it's all just a bit gross.
It's so gross. It was just, and it won Best Picture.
Yeah. I used to think it was so good.
Yeah.
And so this is one of those films that you rewatch after you put it on such a high pedestal and you're just like,
yeah.
What? It's just, I mean, we change.
Correct.
We change.
Yeah.
And so
I think the only good thing that this film did was, for a change, it flipped the American values on its head. And I think after this film, because this was finally a look into what really happens in America and showcasing it, I think it then led to a few other things coming out. So I think Desperate Housewives, because the whole thing with Desperate Housewives is, nothing is as it seems. You might have a white picket fence and a beautiful house, but what happens behind closed doors needs to be, is something that's different.
Yes.
So I think that's one good thing that this film did. It did. But other than that, there's nothing.
Yeah, it had a good twist at the end. It was a good ending.
Yeah, it was a good ending.
It was interesting. But just rewatching the whole thing, it's just a bit of a gross feeling in the stomach.
Yeah, agreed. All right, and what's the number 1 film that hasn't aged well in the 90s?
Number 1 film, 1999 classic teenage comedy.
Yeah.
American Pie.
Yeah. Oh man.
I don't know how I feel. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's one of those films that I used to be so obsessed with.
Yeah.
Everyone did. We watched it multiple times. Loved it. It really was one of those. It was just a different type of American rom-com. Was it a romantic comedy?
I don't even know what to call it.
Kind of coming of age and stuff.
Yeah.
But the whole point is that these boys are doing a bet to see
another bet
to lose their virginity, to conquer these girls.
Yeah.
They don't even know what's coming.
Yeah.
Lucky them, they get to sleep with this 18-year-old's like.
Yeah.
Anyway, what don't we like about it?
I think, well, firstly, it's that the toxic masculinity.
Oh my gosh. Yep. It's thick with toxic masculinity.
Let's not forget the scene where the Jason Biggs character is having a girl in his bedroom and the girl gets broadcast to the entire school. Yeah. I mean, consent.
Premeditated. This guy is going to show the other guys that he's going to sleep with this foreign exchange student.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, I'll just film it. But I guess it really does show that time, like we were still new to that technology. I don't even know if we must have known that that's not okay, but I don't remember thinking it was an issue.
I think at the time when it came out, it was seen as cool.
Yeah, because we weren't catching up with how the repercussions of putting stuff on the internet. Yeah. And in the end, she just gets sent home. Like because of him, gets kicked out of the school and has to go back to Europe. And that's just a blip. Yeah. It's just like a one sentence. Oh, what happened to her? Oh, she got kicked out. Oh, yeah.
Let's
high
move
five.
on. Yeah.
Let's go have sex with the band girl.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's probably the most problematic film of the 90s.
And then also Stifler's mum, who is the amazing
Jennifer Coolidge.
She's so beautiful in this. But she sleeps with a teenage boy. Yeah. Which is gross. Yeah. But it's almost like they did that to try and balance it out. But it wasn't even. It was like a cool thing. I don't know. Everything was just a bit gross in there. And when I watch it now, it just reminds me of like the older boys, being in high school. My brother's 4 years older. Yeah. It's like him and a bit older, the end of Gen X, kind of maybe the elder millennial men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I would have had in high school and stuff, and them just being gross.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that just trickling down that toxic masculinity, and it was just acceptable to just be an absolute pig.
That's our top 10. Stay tuned. We're going to keep doing decade after decade of films that have aged badly.
I don't know if we mentioned earlier, but we kind of do this thing with our podcast. We go in depth for half an hour. 20 to half an hour. We try to make it short and sweet. Just going through what's kind of good, what's kind of bad. Would we recommend rewatching different films throughout the different decades? So if you're interested, it's called
Rewind, Rethink. Find us on Instagram and give us a like. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching Ben TV. My name is Saj.
I'm Alice.
See ya.
Bye.